Hello everybody, it's a little after 9 o'clock on a Friday. Came out to the farm, check on everything. The wind has picked up and there is a thunderstorm coming in. You can see it's raining really good off in the distance. It's just starting to hit us. And that's a good thing. Water on the crops is never bad, especially as hot and dry as it's been. 82, 83 degrees or something tomorrow, so having some rain tonight so it can get hot tomorrow is a good thing. Storm has a lot of Oh, we're out on the backside of the farm, checking things out in the rain, and it is nice to see the corn growing and getting rained on. There's the rainbow from the storm. It's an impressive one. And it ends right at the trailer. It's that storm moving off. Okay, well, it is the next day. It was nice to get that shower last night, but the sun is up and it is going to start to dry everything out. But before we can start the irrigation pump, we need to do a little maintenance. Back in May, when we set the irrigation pump up, we only had one section of suction hose. We recently picked up 2 more sections of suction hose, so now we're able to move the strainer for the suction hose a little further out into the pond. This will help cut down on the amount of debris and biological material that the pump sucks in, helping us keep the filters cleaner longer. And yeah, there's not really any good way to get that strainer out there other than to just get out and get it done. The nice part was the water was extremely warm, and having the availability of surface water that is nice and warm to irrigate with is great. Plants react much better to warm water than cold water out of a well. I noticed the crew on land's giving me lots of moral support. Looks like Rosie's going to wade in a little bit to see what I'm doing. This was something that we know needed to be done, and it was definitely worth the effort to make sure the corn gets plenty of water to help it grow on these long, hot days. Okay, now that we got that relocated, time to go irrigate the corn. Well, at first glance, you might think that's a hummingbird, but it is actually a hummingbird moth. They're fairly common in our area in the summer, and they do love the lilac. As far as regular hummingbirds, they have been seen, but are rare in the interior. Well, good morning, everybody. It is June 23rd, and it is a wonderful, beautiful morning. Going to be 80 degrees or so today. Going to be mid 80s or upper 80s this week. So going to be a warm week, which is good. Makes the corn grow. Things are looking good. Did notice, flip you guys around. See if I can get it. You can see her up in there. Oop. There's a yellow warbler nest in the bushes right next to the house. So we've been watching them. The lilacs have just about peaked. They smell so good. Okay, well, they have completed all 3 of the small bridges out to the farm. Old temporary bridges have been removed. And by this point, they were finishing up the hydro seeding and were waiting on the contractor to put in the guardrails on each end of the bridge approach. It is definitely nice having large bridges to cross over. And here we're coming up on bridge number 2. Boy, it seems like just last week they were getting started on the new bridge construction, and here they are already done. It was amazing how fast these bridges went together and the job was completed. Everybody involved worked really hard on it, that's for sure. Bridge number 3. It's pretty nice, even pulling the tractor on the trailer. Well, as I pulled up to the gate at the entrance to the farm, this snowshoe hare just kind of hopped out of the way and sat down to take the morning in. Didn't seem to be overly concerned about me. We do see a lot of rabbits in this area on a regular basis. And it probably doesn't hurt, just 100 feet away is oats and peas. He's off. Well, here we are out in the cornfield. And you can see some of it is doing exceptionally well. We would love it if the entire field looked like this spot. But there's some thin spots. And that's okay. So they're projecting temperatures in the mid-80s for next week, maybe even 90 degrees. We'll find out. That will definitely help this corn grow. We'll keep pouring the water to it and the fertilizer. And that's exactly what it needs. I know we're probably going to get questions on the inconsistency with the corn growth in the field. That can be because the fertilizer dispenser on the mulch layer wasn't working quite right. When it would get balled up with sticks and roots, it had a problem dispensing fertilizer. So there's spots we didn't get to drop any fertilizer for the starting. And then those spots that have a lot of sticks in them, it's just hard for the corn to germinate and for it to get going. So again, we've said before, fully expected this field not to be perfect, but we definitely wanted to be doing something this year instead of nothing and get a handle on how the equipment works and what we needed, straightening out the irrigation. We definitely have figured out we need a sand filter for dealing with the water out of the surface pond. So that'll be on next year's agenda to help with the filtration of the water. Couldn't ask for better weather. I mean, so far this year, virtually every day has been over 70 degrees since the last week of May, something like that, mid-May. It's been just an excellent year. And the corn, I won't say it's knee-high, but it'll be close to knee-high by July. That's the saying, right? Got Dave over working on picking up some logs on the edge of the farm by the pond. I'm feeding and irrigating the corn. So just a nice day. See, I guess I'll go through, look at some of the crops. Tomatoes are doing their thing. They are setting some fruit. They are flowering. Well, we'll see how things are going. The pumpkins are growing. Everything's actually doing, I would consider, okay. You would definitely like to see this stuff doing much better, getting bigger. Some of this takes a little while to get established and then get going. Potatoes are up. And then the barley out in the field is growing. This is an area that was just a little too wet a month ago to be able to go in and pick the logs up. But now that things have dried out, we're able to get in, grab the logs, and put them into piles. There's something very satisfying about seeing the logs getting stacked up so we can burn them this fall and get the field ready for planting for next year. We'd like to thank everybody for watching. Hope to see you out here on the farm next time. Bye-bye. Well, if everybody's wondering how the garden's doing, and as you can imagine, the plan is to get the corn in the field at the farm to look just like the corn in the garden. It'll take a little time and a lot of hard work, but we'll get there, that's for sure. Okay, this is flying out of the Fairbanks Airport, and you can see the column of smoke and the fire burning off in the distance. This is one of two large fires burning in the Fairbanks area, and they are the two fires that are contributing to most of the smoke that we see around the farm in Nenana. At this point where the fires are burning is an unpopulated area across the river from the city. They do have firefighters out doing cabin protection. Large wildfires are a common occurrence in the interior of Alaska.